What's the most hilarious case of irony you've ever experienced? When I was a kid, I had a teacher named Mrs. Randy, who constantly put me down. Anytime she caught me zoned out, she would embarrass me in front of the class by yelling at me or making me stand in the corner for time out. I think the reason she was so miserable was because she was in her late 50s and going through her third divorce. Anyway, one time she caught me dazing out of the window as she was teaching our class about the different structures of clouds. She said something that stuck with me for life. You will never make a living by looking out the window. It stung as a kid, especially since I was paying attention to her lesson yet standing in the corner for time out. Even 20 years later, I still recall how hurt I felt standing in the corner of the class. Ironically enough, I am now a pilot, and I do in fact make a living by looking out of a window. Well, on one of my flights a few years ago, I had just settled into the cockpit, and as the passengers were boarding, I stood in the galley and spotted Mrs. Randy's unforgettable face boarding my plane. I called her name, and she looked at me startled, and the moment our eyes locked, I could tell that she remembered me. I joked with her and said, "Remember when you said I'd never make a living looking out of a window? Well, I better stay looking out the window if you want to not die today." She awkwardly fumbled her bag, not knowing what to say, before congratulating me awkwardly with a straight face and heading over to her seat, last aisle in economy. Turns out that even 20 years later, she was her same miserable old self.